Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February the 15th, 2023. It's your boy Chris. I'm back from vacation, man. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I got a little tan. And it feels good to be back, man. It feels good to be back. Been watching the NBA, catching up on all the stuff that I kind of missed out on because I was without service for quite a while too. But I'm back, man. This is the Cash Day with Chris NBA betting show slash podcast where we try to get ahead of the lines. It's a real weird time of the year because you have all the trades, you got to see the people and the players get acclimated to the new systems that they're in, see how the offense gonna work, see how the defense gonna work. But also you got the All-Star break coming up as well. I think we'll make a lot of money post All-Star game looking at some of these teams and being able to bet on them based on the situation that they're in. So it'll be a short show today, but I did kind of want to put together a show because I did look at a few of the games from last night. I'm sorry, a few of the games from today that I wanted to talk about. So as you guys come in, hit the like button for me if you guys can, especially if you enjoy the show, if you find it valuable, hit the like button for me. That's all I ask. Also, check out the podcast on all podcast streaming platforms as well. Podcast made available Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify as well. So hit the like button for me and let's get into a couple of the games that I want to talk about today. Feels good to be back, man. Feels good to be back. So first game up, man. No time to waste. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So first game I want to talk about is the Spurs and Hornets game. Total in this game opened last night at 241 when I was capping it before I went to bed last night. And right now I want to say the total has moved already this morning. It's down to 239 and a half, and I like the under, man. I like the movement towards the under. I think it's for a few different reasons, and I want to get into those. So first thing is you look at the Hornets. This team just came out and I mean they needed a win. They needed a confidence boost and win. They needed to just kind of just get off the snide because they had been losing so many games. I think they had lost like 6, 7 games in a row. Kind of healthy. Of course, they lost Plumlee in the trade, but got Mark Williams down there playing center. And they did whatever they wanted to the Atlanta Hawks the other day. I was actually on my way back uh, into the states when that game was about to tip, and I saw the total sitting at 240, and I'm like, Atlanta, Charlotte, total 240. If you've been watching the show, you know that we've been cashing on the unders when they go above 240, and I've been breaking that down throughout the show and kind of showing people what that looks like. Uh, lot of big percentage going towards the under. That game actually went over by 40 points. The total was 240, 242, something like that. And I'm talking about the Hornets in the Atlanta game, and like I said, it went over by 40 points. And Atlanta absolutely played no defense in that game. Hornets got whatever it is that they wanted. I think they scored 144 points in that game. So you expect a little regression to the mean for the Charlotte Hornets in this one. I know they're playing against the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are, I think, the second worst defensive. Well, actually, they picked up their defenses a tad bit. They have been playing a little bit better defense. I think they're like 15th defensively last 5 games. But you look at the Spurs offense, and they struggle. They struggle. These are two teams that kind of struggle to score the ball at times. The Spurs, 29th ranked offensively last 5 games, behind only the Chicago Bulls, which is pretty interesting. Of course, DeRozan hasn't been playing in the handful of games for the Chicago Bulls, but this Spurs offense has really struggled to score the ball, and I think that's why you see money come in on Charlotte because this spread did open at 6. It's up to 6.5. And then I also think that's why you saw, some money come in on the under as well. And I still like the under, man. I talked about totals of 240 or higher going under at a really high clip. I think it was something like 85%. And if you factor in that it's from January 31st instead of January the 1st, I think that number goes up a tad bit more. It's only been like 2 overs with a total of 240 or higher. So you look at this Hornets team; they're also 6-1 to the under as a home favorite, averaging about 232 points in that spot. I feel like this is the game where two teams will play at extremely fast pace, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see a lot of points. There has to be some kind of offensive regression, you would think, from the Charlotte Hornets, scoring 144 points. Last game, they shot a season high in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and 3-pointers made. So typically, you see some regression back to the mean in spots like that, especially from teams that aren't used to scoring as many points. So another thing I looked at was teams with a win percentage that's under 40. So some of these bad teams that score 140 points or more in their previous game, they are 2-0 to the under this season following a game where they score 140 points or more in their previous game. So I like the under in this spot, man. I already talked about the Spurs offense kind of struggling. We know that they got guys in and out. I think Keldon Johnson is supposed to be there. Trey Jones, they've taken a big hit without Trey Jones, and Trey Jones has also already been rolled out for this game. So I like the under in this Spurs and Hornets game. Like I said, it's 241 on the screen, but it's actually down to 239. I think we see a little bit more money come in as well. I think that sharp bettors putting money in on the under, and I would look that way as well. Haven't played it yet. Also, kind of upset that I didn't play it, being that the number is being steamed down. But I do expect this game to go under. Another thing you want to take into consideration, and to get away from this game, another thing you want to take into consideration is, how these teams are going to play. You got to look at the spot for these teams, right? A lot of these teams, this is the last game for them before the All-Star break. The All-Star break starts this weekend, so you got to kind of pick and choose your spots, right? Who desperately needs a win? Who desperately needs that confidence boost to win to kind of go into the All-Star break the right way? And I'm gonna do a lot of reading and research today to kind of make sure that when I place my bets tonight and I do the Crispy Captain NBA show, I do know who's playing motivationally, right? Like who has the motivation to win in these spots. So I'll look more into that and share those thoughts as well. But I still think, I don't care if it's motivation or not, the Spurs and the Hornets go under 241. I look for some regression for under 239 and a half as well. I look for some regression for the Charlotte Hornets. Also look for the San Antonio Spurs to continue to struggle offensively. So that's what I got for you guys in the first one. The next game I want to talk about a tad bit, and it's similar situation, right? Is the Knicks and the Hawks. So lining this one open as the Hawks, they're home favorites in this one, 2.5. I think it's up to 3 or at some books as well. And the New York Knicks come into this game. I think they were on a 2-game losing streak before they did get a solid win at home against the new look Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie and without KD. First time that they've actually beat the Nets in quite a while. I can't remember how many games it was, but I was paying attention to that as well. And this is another game where I'm looking at defense in this one as well, man. We know that the Knicks and the Hawks don't like each other. I think it could have a playoff type atmosphere. The thing that's different between the Knicks and the Hawks that the thing that's different between these two teams than recent years is that the Hawks usually are the better team when these two teams play each other. Jalen Brunson's been balling. This dude's an absolute stud. He's getting whatever it is that he wants on the floor. Since he got snubbed from the All-Star game, I think he's averaging something like 31 points per game. I couldn't talk anybody off looking at his props today. I know that he'll probably end up, getting drawn DeJounte Murray. But the Hawks defense hasn't been that great. I do think that we see some regression for their defense here, though, and they actually play defense in this spot. So you look at this Atlanta team, and similarly, like I just talked about, because they played against the Hornets, they gave up 144 points in that game. Prior to giving up 144 points to the Charlotte Hornets in that last game, this team was top 10 defensively over the 5 games before that. So I think you look at the first half under. I'm not even sure what the number is right now. I know that the total opened at 234 and a half. This total is also going down, which I agree with the line movement there, because everything that came out of the Atlanta Hawks locker room was that we have to play better defense. Trey Young talked about it. I mean, Trey Young's not much of a defender, but we know a defense is all about effort, right? If you want to play defense, you just have to play with more effort. And like I said, they gave up, season highs to the Charlotte Hornets. We know that the Knicks play at a much slower pace. They get the ball to either Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson, and they kind of dictate the offense, and they run it at a really slow pace. Tom Thibodeau runs his offense in that way anyway, right? They don't run up and down the floor. So I agree with the total coming down in this one. I think the safer bet might be the first half under, just because besides Trey Young, you also heard Coach Nate McMillan preach that, they're not going to win games. It don't matter how much offense they got. They're not going to win games if they're not bringing it on the defensive end. And, they just kind of laid an egg, man. I think the Charlotte Hornets scored just about 30 points in every quarter in their last game. So I'd be looking towards this Hawks and Knicks. I think the first half under might be a more solid play, just in case, things kind of take off. I think defensively early in the game, Atlanta's going to try to make an emphasis on playing good defense. The Knicks have been playing good defense, especially under Thibodeau this year, and that was the one thing that hadn't been extremely consistent. I thought them losing Mitchell Robinson early in the season, they'd also take a step back defensively. But they've actually been playing pretty good on the defensive end, man. So I look for this first half. That's the way I'd be playing this game is Knicks and the Hawks first half to go under whatever the total is. It's 234. Half of that is 117. I think they probably t- take away a few points, so maybe 115, which is like 55 to 55, 55 to 58, something like that. And I think it goes under, man. I think both of these teams play much better defense than that. So that's what I got for you guys in that one. What up to the chat, man? What up, Bissy? My guy Derek in here. Um, yeah, I got a 10, man. I got a mean 10. I told you I was leaving the country. I meant it, man. Welcome back. LeBron ain't played a game since you left. Yeah, Bron's supposed to play tonight, man. He's supposed to be back tonight. Brian said he on his Knicks first half. What up, Freeman's in the chat? Yeah, bro, I did get a little burnt, man. I told you I was leaving the country, man. I put my feet up for a little while. I had the drinks with the umbrella in it, man. But that ain't what the show about. So those are really the two games that I kind of looked into already, man. The games I wanted to kind of break down for you guys. That I wanted to have action in. Like I said, if you guys are betting today, make sure that you have done extensive research. Check the beat writers to make sure these teams are motivated in these spots, man. Because I've seen it before. I saw it. We saw it a lot last year, where it's just a game before the All-Star break, and teams don't care. They kind of take their foot off the gas. It's a lot of interesting matchups today that I don't necessarily want to put my hard-earned money on. But I think we got some good games. I'm just, I gotta dig a little deeper. It's way more than the analytics and the killer sports and me running SDQL queries to try to figure out if I like these teams in these spots, because I need to find out if they want to win the game, right? I need to find out how motivated they are to go into the All-Star break on a winning streak, picking up another win. So I probably won't play a lot, but like I said, I do really like the two plays that I've talked about already. That first one being the under in the Spurs and the Hornets game, opened at 241, is down to 239 and a half. Excuse me. And then the Knicks and the Hawks game. The first half is what I would look at in that game, just in case the offenses do pick up. The Hawks they can play defense. They kind of teeter around playing defense sometimes. And we know that the Knicks are a solid defensive unit, man. So I look for both of those games to go under. It's a lot of other games to get into, man. I'm not gonna break down all of them. Those are the main two that I wanted to talk about today. And like I said, I got a lot of research to do, on the rest of the games today, because we got a handful of games, man. I think the Cavs and the 76ers game is going to be extremely interesting as well. Yeah, but it's a small spread there, so probably won't get on the side. Cavs, the 76ers did open as 2.5-point favorites. You do see money coming in on Cleveland, who are hot right now, 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. But the 76ers, almost equally hot, 7-3 in their last 10, 6-4 against the spread. We know that they play really, really well when Joel Embiid, who is listed as questionable, and James Harden are on the floor, especially when they're a home favorite. So not a spot I really want to fade Philly in. Even though I think James Harden is food on defense. I know that James Harden is food on defense, and I expect him to get roasted, no matter if he's trying to guard Garland, if he's trying to guard Donovan Mitchell. Like, they just don't. He won't be able to guard either one of them. So I do expect fourth quarter, that's where they're gonna try to take advantage of their matchup. The Cavs have really picked it up. This is the Cavaliers team that I thought would be able to figure this out. I thought that, honestly, I don't think I gave them enough time. I thought that they figured it out a little earlier, but it's taking them a while. But they are coming around for sure. But yeah, man, that's what I got for you guys. Bulls also play the Pacers. I looked into that game. Don't really like too much in that one. Detroit do get Boston on the second night of a back-to-back. Brooklyn and Miami is going to be an interesting one. I like the under in that game, but I got to look a little more into that. The Rockets play the Oklahoma City Thunder. That line's already up to 9.5. And then the Grizzlies, they need a win as well. 3-7 in their last 10, 4-6 against the spread. They get a Jazz team that's pretty depleted besides their starting five. So Memphis should be able to get a win, but I'm not putting my money on them yet. Got a little more digging to do in that game. And my Lakers play the Pelicans tonight. Looking for revenge in that one because they did just lose. LeBron's supposed to be back. Lakers been struggling. The Pelicans also been struggling, trying to get out of that 0-9, 0-10. I think it was 1-9 snide that they were on. They are 4-6 in their last 10. And then Dallas also plays Denver tonight. So a lot more to talk about, a lot more games to get into, man. But I appreciate you guys for tapping in with me. Like I said, best two looks that I've seen so far would be the Spurs and the Hornets to go under the 239.5. Also looking at that Knicks and Atlanta game to go first half to go under as well. I think both of those teams bring it defensively, and could be what what might be a a playoff type atmosphere in Atlanta tonight. I know that they're gonna bring it on the defensive end though, so that's why I like the under there. Zachariah said, "You like the trades overall? You like the trades overall? The deadline? Yeah, I thought mine was spinning at first. I'm like, God, even it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I think a lot of teams got better, man. I think, of course, you got to look at the Phoenix Suns to come out the West now with adding KD. I think DeAndre Ayton is being overlooked because people are just saying Chris Paul, Devin Booker. But I like that a lot. I do like that team a lot. I like a lot of the trades. I thought my Lakers got better, adding Jared Vanderbilt with Malik Beasley. I like the trades for sure, man. I thought a lot of teams got better. Not just us for sure. Not just my Lakers, but a lot of teams. The East, I think the little trades matter as well, man. The Clippers, going and getting Bones Highland, getting the backup center with Plumlee coming over from Charlotte, giving up Reggie Jackson. I thought that was a good move. I also like Jakob Pertl to the Raptors. It's a lot of good trades, man. A lot of good trades for sure. Derek said I acknowledge him on the actual video because we was crushing the drunk cat from the land about all the all-time points, and he was right. Bissy said Melo over 9.5 assists. I could see it, Bissy. I could see Melo getting a double-double tonight. I mean, it's double-double probably, minus money, but I'd be looking at if I was gonna play LaMelo today, I'd probably be looking at his threes. He talked about it in the post-game interview when he got interviewed. He talked about how, they're just not he just gonna keep shooting. It don't matter if he make it or miss it. He done broke some kind of like Charlotte Hornets record for most for at least 1 3 made in consecutive games. And I do expect him to just to kind of keep jacking. He said it. He like, if the first one go in, I'm shooting the second one. If the first one don't go in, I'm still shooting the second one. And if 7 of them don't go in, he's still shooting the eighth one. So San Antonio Spurs give it up from deep. We know that they have a big problem regarding the 3-point line. So I probably look towards Melo threes before I look to his assists. But cap his assists. Look at the potential assists. Look at what the Spurs are allowing point guards to give up. On the assist line. Charlotte needed a win, and they got it against Atlanta. I'm not sure how they're going to take this game. They should smash the Spurs in reality, but I'm not 100% sure, how motivated they're going to be coming off a big win, coming off a really good win. They needed that win. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I'll look more into that, and maybe I'll have a little bit more research on that. But appreciate you guys, like I said, for tapping in with me, man. If you guys found the show helpful, share it. Shoot me a review over on all podcast streaming platforms as well, wherever you listen to your podcast at. I am going to download it and get it uploaded to podcast form for you guys as well. And if you like the show, man, hit the like button for me. Bash Bros said I kind of like the Spurs, but he's saying that I'm not laying 6.5 with Charlotte. That's what I'm not doing. The Spurs just kept it close against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know they're on the road, but I'm not laying 6.5 with Charlotte. I know that's what I'm not doing. I've seen the Charlotte team lose to the Detroit Pistons multiple times this year. They do not perform well against teams that have a losing record. They typically play up to competition and they play down to competition as well. So I couldn't talk you off, Bash. I'm not playing the Spurs though. I'll tell you that. But I'm definitely not playing Charlotte either, which is why I kind of pivoted towards the total in that one. So that's what I got for you guys, man. 19 minutes in the books. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you guys enjoyed the show. Be back at 5:15 Eastern time. Back on track now, man. Trying to get back on track, which is why I did the morning show today. Back from vacation. You guys can see the tan. And I am out of here for today. Best of luck as always on your bets. 5:15 Eastern time. Tap back in with me for the Crispy Cap and NBA show. Until then, I'm out, man. Best of luck to you guys today.